Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The English Sailor, the ultimate channel to leverage and to beef up your communication skills and vocabulary skills. A good vocabulary enables us to interpret and to express ourselves coherently. If you have a limited vocabulary, you will also have a limited vision and a limited future. In case if you haven't subscribed, I request you to please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon and never miss any update as I will upload a new video every day. And today we are going to add 10 new words into our vocabulary stock. But before that, I request you to take a pen and paper and just note down the words and usages as we go through. So let's get started. Now, what are you able to see from this picture? So it clearly indicates that a person is throwing a box out from his window. Do we have such kind of a word to describe this action in English? Yes, we do have, and it is defenestrate. The verb defenestrate describes throwing someone or something out of a window. It usually originated in the year 1618 when some Protestants threw Catholics out of a window, starting the 30 Years' War and becoming known as the defenestration of Prague. If you are so furious that you throw your television out of the window of your house, you can put an impressive spin on it when you later explain, I felt the need to defenestrate my television. Defenestrate. Defenestrate means throwing someone or something out of a window. Next, the person in spectacles is Mark, and Mark has asked Jack a question. How do you know carrots are good for your eyes? To which Jack replies, have you ever seen a rabbit wearing glasses? Now, in what manner did Jack reply? You can say he replied in a facetious tone. Facetious. Facetious means anything facetious is a joke. Don't take a facetious comment seriously because it's supposed to be funny. Usage. As I entered, my old friends, the prisoners, crowded around me, and Captain Bruce addressed me in his facetious manner. So, anything facetious is a joke. Next. Now, what can you get from this image? So, the one in blue is a mediating between the two persons. This kind of a communication or cooperation in which facilitates a close working relationship between the people or organization is called liaison. I repeat again, it is called liaison. Liaison. So here you need to spell Z in place of S. So what is liaison? Liaison is a channel for communication between the groups. For example, a former FBI spy, Frank, he provided a liaison with the Taliban. And in one of the James Bond movies, so this is one of the dialogues. So lure him into liaison. Keep the weapon concealed until the last moment. Liaison is a channel for communication between the groups. Now, you have been delegated with the responsibility to look after the hall and you have neglected it. As a result of your neglection, what happened? The hall got collapsed because due to lack of proper maintenance. Now, what is the word that you can use to describe this negligent behavior? It is derelict. It is derelict. Derelict as an adjective, it describes something that is run down, neglected, or in deplorable condition. But the word can also mean negligent in duty. If suppose something has been abandoned, so let's say the hall, you can call it a derelict. Even if a person has abandoned his responsibilities, you can say that he is a derelict in his duties. And the usage. They haunt the windows of derelict buildings, appearing like wraiths, disappearing as quickly. So the word derelict, it describes something that is neglected or say something that has been abandoned. You can use the word derelict. Now, what can you refer from this image? It just simply portrays a person who is shabbily dressed. And of course, a shabby is a common word, but the more fancy word of shabby is tatterdemalion. So you can use the word tatterdemalion for anyone who is dressed in messy, ragged clothes. As an adjective, tatterdemalion means unkempt or shoddy. So you can just go ahead and ask your brother, why are you wearing that tatterdemalion outfit? And it is also used to describe something which is in a deplorable condition. So for example, previously we have just seen here the hull. So what is the state of this hull? Oh my god, it is a completely a tatterdemalion. So tatterdemalion. You can also use it when something is in a deplorable condition. And the usage. You are a good for nothing, very ungraceful, very tactless, and very tatterdemalion. So tatterdemalion is someone who is dressed in messy or something which is in a deplorable condition. And next, what can we refer from this image? Of course, this is the most common situation in our office. You, I, and everyone might have faced it at one or the other point of time. So this is nothing but it is an action of a condescending. Condescending means just looking down upon someone. If you are being condescending, you are looking down on someone. The Latin prefix con means with, and the Latin word for descend means down. So the word condescending probably developed to describe someone who looked down upon others. A condescending behavior is not surprisingly itself looked down upon. Usage. What is the usage of the word condescending? Her voice is pious, condescending, the voice of those whose duty is to tell us unpleasant things for our own good. So you can just say, for example, in case if one of your manager isn't speaking properly with you, you can just say he is somewhat condescending in his manner. Condescending means looking down upon someone. And now, so for example, imagine if your enemy has invited you for a tea party. So a number of ominous thoughts start emanating from your mind, and you will have a suspicion that I guess there is a sinister motive hidden behind his invitation. And thus here comes the word sinister. Sinister means evil, giving the impression that something harmful or evil is happening or will happen. There was something sinister about that murmuring voice. I suspect there's a sinister motive behind inviting me for the tea party. So sinister means evil. Sinister means evil. And next, this is of course in the olden days, there used to be a herald who used to announce the news in the localities. And a herald can also be used as a verb meaning to praise or to greet enthusiastically. So, herald. A herald is a sign of things to come, or a person who announces important news. But nowadays it is not prevalent anymore because we don't have heralds nowadays. And a herald can also be used as a verb meaning to praise or to greet enthusiastically. Let's say if you have been away from home for a long time, your family might herald your return, especially if you come bearing the gifts. Years ago, a herald was an official who announced important news to the people. This is why many newspapers today have herald in their name. Nowadays, the noun herald, it refers to an early indicator that something is about to happen. For example, in the distance, there is a loud sound of thunder, heralding more rain. Herald is a sign of things to come or a person who announces important news. Herald is a sign of things to come or to praise or to greet someone enthusiastically. And next, now you can see, so this is nothing but it is a perfect connection of lines and a perfect connection of lines. So nothing but if these lines are connected properly, then you can just make a clear impression about what they are. So this kind of describing and portraying something precisely is called delineate. Delineate. So though you pronounce it a delineate, there is a line in the middle of a delineate. This might help you remember that to delineate is to outline and define something in detail or with an actual marking of lines and boundaries. Her research done over 2 decades also delineates how rejecting behaviors will harm young people. The law should delineate and prohibit behavior which is socially aberrant. Delineate means to describe or portray something precisely. And next, I hope everyone might have read about the story of Gulliver Travels, so in which a sailor Gulliver, he accidentally enters into the islands of Lilliput. And what was the first expression of the Lilliput when they encountered Gulliver is, what a Brobdingnagian person he is. So here comes the word Brobdingnagian. Brobdingnagian is unusually it is something which is unusually great in size or amount or degree or especially extent or scope. One should cultivate a Brobdingnagian perspective about the life. Brobdingnagian, something which is huge or giant. Brobdingnagian means something which is huge and giant. So thank you so much for watching this video. In case if you have any comments or suggestions, please do write in the comments below. I will definitely work upon it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.